Hi, this is Malaika Arora Khan.
Hi, this is Arbaaz Khan with Faridoon.
And you're watching us
on Bollywood Hungama.
Well, it's a huge privilege to have one of the finest couple in Bollywood, Arbaaz Khan and Malaika Arora Khan. Wonderful to have you guys back on Bollywood Hungama.
Great.
Thank you.
The last time around, the conversations that we had, it's still there on online, and it's still getting a fantastic response. Arbaaz Khan, your film is coming up, Dolly Ki Doli. My first question to you is, we were there at the screening last night. How do you react when the entire people are just waiting and bursting to just throw all those CTs at Fashion Khatam? What is your actual feeling like? Please, be honest.
I think that is what is the intention. I mean,
Right.
to say, when you have a chartbuster song and you have Malaika doing it, though,
Right.
the intention is to get the kind of whistles and to get the reaction and to get the crowd going, in the sense that they should enjoy it and have fun,
Right.
and just like the song and the dance and everything.
Right.
If that would not have happened, then
Right.
there's a matter of worry. Okay, yaar, we tried, but we hope that it works, and it doesn't work, then it's a matter of worry. But pretty good. She's getting a great response. The song's getting a great response,
Right.
so it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Malaika, how do you manage to look so stunning? You know, it's like you know, you're getting better with each passing year. So I don't know, how do you manage that? Many people would
I
love to
can't
know
share that secret now.
No,
that is
seriously.
a family secret.
Right.
I
You
cannot
want to
divulge
breaking news,
any
actually.
of it on
What
camera.
about me? Look at me. How young am I looking?
He is looking like exceptional shape actually. We were telling him that he needs to just launch himself as a hero in one of his own productions. So first of all, any breaking news, please. Any hint of an idea, because I think you're looking fantastic.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. But I think it's our job. We are in the
Right.
business where we are meant to look a certain way. We have to, you know, there's a certain expectation to always, you know, be a certain way. So I guess you just have to keep improvising, be different. I think that's what that is what counts. But for me, I think I enjoy what I do, and I think that's pretty visible and
You
evident.
enjoy dancing?
Yeah, can't you tell?
Absolutely.
I don't think that's rocket science. I love dancing, and every
Right.
time I'm on screen, I think when I'm dancing, it just makes me feel very happy.
Right.
I feel like I'm doing something that I enjoy, and it comes naturally to me.
Great. Now, Arbaaz Khan, you've had a couple of productions so far. Salman Khan has been there, so that makes your task somewhere easier. But now, when Dolly Ki Doli is coming, much smaller budget and relatively younger star cast. But when you've made a good film, when people are reacting so positively to the entire writing bit, I think Uma Shankar's writing is exceptional. The entire ensemble star cast is wonderful. Do you feel a high somewhere, because this is a difficult route somewhere, and people are loving it?
Yes, answering your earlier question is that when you have Salman, you know, things are easier. They are definitely easier, but there is also an added pressure when you maybe if you wouldn't deliver with him, because you are expected to more. See, not delivering with this is not a big expectation.
Right.
You know, there it is mandatory that you have to deliver with him, because if you don't, then it's like completely gone. So it's actually win-win situation, but yet it's not a great scenario to really be in, because it's difficult, you know.
Right.
But here there is definitely a very challenging scenario, particularly because, you know, I have done 3 films, okay, and all 3 films I've introduced 3 debutant directors, me included.
Right.
Okay, so it was challenging, and I like that. I like to work with fresh young talent, because they're brimming with ideas, they're energetic, they have so much to offer, and then they, you know, then the little bit of experience and expertise that I feel I have over the years, you know, being born in a film family, having worked in films over so many years, and, you know, I kind of can help, you know, groom this kind of talent, and, you know, so it's nice, so that I also learn from them, they get my experience, and we collaborate very well, and up till now things are good, and I will continue. In fact, in my film, somewhere or the other, I'll be introducing some new talent, whether it's a music director, whether it's a DOP, whether it's a writer or a director or an actor. I really look forward, because it brings in that little, it just infuses that extra enthusiasm and freshness.
What is your modus operandi of functioning, that who just chooses the script?
I think he's more equipped to answer that, because he is the one who's completely responsible for right from choosing a script to how it should, you know, play out. I'm his sounding board.
Right.
He definitely runs by all those ideas. Whatever he has, he runs it by with me. I always have my take on things. I always do. If I feel whatever in terms of casting, or if I feel there's something, you know, not right, I will always you know, tell him. If he thinks it's right, he will listen. He will take my suggestions seriously.
I take those major calls in the sense that, you know, when there is an exciting script that comes my way, and you know, I have, you know, strangely done things that I'm sure nobody would really do. So sometimes some of my decisions they may seem very impulsive, and when I met Abhinav, when he narrated the script to me as an actor, I just committed to him and I said, we're doing the film. And I had never seen his work. Like, I never asked him, show me your DVD if you've done any work before, or who have you assisted, or what. If I feel that this person has got some material that I think is good enough, then getting it on screen is not such a big issue, because you know, those technical aspects can be handled. What is the use if everything looks beautiful but you don't have the content? So similarly with Abhishek Dogra, who's done Dolly Ki Doli,
right.
You know, when he too came with me, I really didn't want to ask him, show me your resume, or where you worked or what you've done. I was quite wrapped with the kind of material that they had. Of course, all this material needed some amount of tweaking and changes and all that stuff, but inherently it had the characters and the story that I kind of got excited about. Then we could really work at it, because then I bring in what values that I think as a filmmaker, because I'm a creative producer. I just don't take something and I just let it happen. I get involved in it, and you know, I kind of contribute into my films, because a film that I put my name to should reflect a lot about what kind of cinema that I like. I'm not here completely to make films for people and fulfill their dreams. Oh, you like this movie? Chalo, I'm a producer, you're a successful filmmaker, you go make this movie. No, that film should reflect the kind of cinema that even I like. So there is a kind of a synergy between the filmmaker, the writer, director and me.
When Besharam came in, a lot of people said that it doesn't seem coming from the same director who made Dabangg. And all these inputs that we had discussed post Dabangg, that what you gave and what Salman gave to the script and in terms of dialogue. Somewhere you feel that it's important that a producer or an actor, if he feels strongly about something, he should surely make sure that it goes into the movie.
Abhinav was a very, very big player in Dabangg. And we must not forget that the seed of Dabangg came from him. It was his idea, it was his script, it was his characters that I got excited about. Then, like I said, I am not one of those typical producers who will just take a script and make it just the way somebody has wanted it to be. Earlier Dabangg, which Abhinav will also admit, did not have any songs. It was a 60-day film, and you know, it had a different parameters. Right. There were some dark shades to that character which were needed when that script was being made. Right. So when Salman came in, Salman's image is too strong, too positive, those things had to be altered. Those changes we brought in, we asked him to do those things. The songs that came in, the action that came in, the kind of bigness that came in, those were kind of the visions that both me and my brother had, to take that potentially good script and give it that kind of expanse that it needed. It is not just Abhinav and me and Salman. The music of the film is incredible. Sonakshi's contribution is incredible. The action director's contribution is incredible. The DOP's confidence in the film. I mean to say, a lot of people do that kind of work on DI and all that stuff, giving it that shade and that tone. The man had the guts to put a filter and take that option where you could not change it. Abhinav was a huge player in Dabangg. When he made another film, maybe he had different ideas, because so it's not as though because he made Besharam, he was not contributing in Dabangg.
That's very unfair.
That is not how it is.
No, basically what I'm trying to say is that the debate was about the contribution in terms of what Salman brought to the table in terms of dialogue and what
Salman, let's be very honest, you know, I mean to say, in a film there are 80 odd scenes and there are some, God knows how many hundreds and thousands of dialogues. If somebody as an actor feels that I'm going to change this one line here and I'm going to contribute here, does not mean that he's written the dialogues of the film.
He wrote a few
key dialogues. He wrote some key dialogues. He's written key dialogues even in films like Wanted and some other films where Reddy and all that stuff, where he's made those, you know, captions, and they have worked. And those leads also come from already the given material that is there. More often than not, what he says works. More often than not, you know.
Because experience.
Yes. Like this dialogue, कि थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता साहब, प्यार से लगता है. That is Abhinav's dialogue.
I'm not taking anything away from Abhinav either.
No.
I'm not taking it. So I'm only saying a lot of people said that both the films, it didn't seem that it's coming from the same.
Doesn't matter.
That's what the perception.
Maybe he was not in his. It's like playing an
right.
innings where you score 100 and you go in the next ball and maybe you don't score 100. I know Abhinav is an extremely talented person. That is the reason I could have that faith in him and, you know, trust him with the movie. He's definitely somebody who's capable of bouncing back. We are not necessarily going to make classic films and exceptionally accepted films. We'll go wrong, because what goes wrong is your thought process. The sincerity and the honesty to the work is always going to be there. A concept like Queen works, a concept like Kahani works, a concept like Vicky Donor works, or Dabangg works when it came back into thing. If you go wrong in that concept, you go wrong with the film. So he tried something to do with Besharam. It didn't work. It doesn't matter. He'll find something that will connect.
Malaika, now I recently read one of your interviews, and a lot of things personally I did not know about your initial years, and I came to know through that interview of yours, and how your childhood was, and how you found Arbaaz at 18, and how things
found.
Yeah, I think
I found in Mele mein.
Yeah, but I think because since then you guys have been together, so I think it must have been, because I think he came out of the blue somewhere. You were at some disc.
No, we
that I saw him.
Right.
But we met I saw him. That I did mention that I saw him somewhere before we actually met on a shoot, and I just saw him, and then I met him at the shoot at the coffee, and that's since then we've started dating each other.
Right. So, what do you have to say about Arbaaz Khan and the journey that you've had with Arbaaz Khan so far?
That I won't do.
Many consider you guys to be an ideal couple.
That I won't do it.
I mean, well, it's been a really long journey, really long, and like any couple, we have our share of ups and downs, and we bounce back. We fight, we make up, we don't talk to each other, we talk a lot to each other, but that's normal journey of any couple, and more in our case because we've been together for
like
for
people
so
like
long.
to believe, that
There's nothing as ideal couple.
No, the perception of, we like to tag relationships, but we are like any normal couple. We have our issues where we talk, we don't talk, we get upset about things, sometimes frivolous things, sometimes, things that don't matter at all. So, but there is a projection in the media that, oh, these people are the fairy tale scenario. No, we are like any normal couple, so it's fine. We love each other, that's why we're together.
Right.
And, we'll just care for each other and respect each other, and just will be as long as we can together.
क्या बात है? In fact,
all our grey hair, our head full of grey hair.
Sonam has said in an interview recently. In fact, I interviewed her a short while back, and she had some wonderful things to say about both of you. And but she has said that no one has given me so much respect and love as Arbaaz has. He's a lovely man. He is a godly man. There is something so lovely about him that is so correct and right and is so ethical. Somewhere she told me personally that the way you respect a woman is something which is really different from what she has experienced in a personal life as well. And somewhere I think that in a way comes from the relationship that you have with Malaika. So how do you react when an actress?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I read that interview and in the morning, and I was really moved by it. In fact, I had tears in my eyes, honestly, because for the simple reason that there's somebody who has said such kind words. And I couldn't read beyond that portion. The moment I read that portion, I did not want to continue reading further, because that block, what she mentioned about me, I was like, why would anybody want to say something like this, and it was not needed. But that reflects on what she is as a person, and what she thinks about me is something that, and she didn't need to be so vocal and open about it. I mean to say that opinion could have been told to me or to her friends or to her family.
Why not? I think if she genuinely felt it,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a wonderful thing to say.
What she said, it kind of really moved me, and I thought that was very sweet, because this is the first time I'm working professionally with her. I've known her family and I've known her father, and so it's very sweet in that very short association, which is on a film at this point in time, that though we are working in a pressure scenario, it's like it's not like we are friendly so much, because we are coming for work, we meet, and for her to make that assessment or the judgment, okay, fine, I think this guy is nice, is a very sweet thing and a very nice thing. I feel the same about her, that she's the most grounded, hard-working. She has worked almost 24 hours, because we were running against time and there were some date issues with certain actors, and she was like, listen, I know you have a release and I know you have to have a deadline, and if it means that I have shoot 24 hours, I will do it. And trust me, she was there on the sets, though by noon, and she shot till 7 o'clock the next day. So it's something that people don't do, it's like, and she was like exhausted, because she had those hours for about 4-5 days. So it's great that, she's not a newcomer. She doesn't have to prove a point. She doesn't have to do all of this, and she did all of that. So it's wonderful. I think she's on her way, and I wish her all the very best because of her sincerity, her honesty, and her hard work.
Dolly is an entertaining film, but at the same time, there's I think very subtle underlying message for women as well as to why they need to be themselves, and I think the way it happens in the climax. Do you feel nice when such a movie is made without being preachy, it's still giving us a certain
Absolutely,
message?
absolutely. And I think in India, we don't really see female-oriented films so much that do well. A title character where a heroine has to, is playing and has to carry that film on it. We don't really see that. I mean, how often do you see films where a heroine is, taking you through a film? Very rarely. Last, you must have seen a film like Queen, where it was so appreciated. So yes, of course, I think, firstly, for Arbaaz to choose a subject like that, to have faith in a subject like that. I think even when he told me, I was like, Arbaaz, are you're sure? Are you 100%? I said, you don't really see that happening around too much. Sure. And I think we've all been in the industry long enough. But his conviction, he was like, no, I want to do this. And I think she's done a fantastic job. In fact, I saw the film with a whole lot of women in the theatre. We were about 50 women sitting and watching the film. And I can't tell you how good they all, felt.
No,
they all said the same thing. They said it feels so nice to see a woman playing a character like this, and not preachy, not irritating, not annoying, fun, yet at the same time, like you said, there's an underlying message. So yeah, it is like, for me, I think it's all about
a woman taking charge,
Yeah.
There's a tendency
and not being apologetic about it.
Basically it's
living her life.
She's taking charge of her life and not being apologetic about it, and rightly or wrongly, whatever the circumstances have thrown and whatever her life needs to be, in her own way, she's happy doing what she's doing. So that's what it is all about, and it's done in a very, very entertaining, and it like you said, it doesn't preach anything. It does not even say that that's the right way to go. Exactly. It just tells you that this is the woman and this is how this is how she leads her life, and she's unapologetic about it, and it's a very entertaining life, whether you like it or not or whatever it is, and she's actually
enjoying the journey.
And you'll also enjoy it. You'll accept it for what she is. So there is something nice about it. Yeah.
Arbaaz, writing is very interesting in terms of, I think, dialogue. Uma Shankar, I think he's really good, because throughout the course of the movie, the best part is somewhere it's 100 minutes, which is very, very crisp. Something about the writing part, because we've spoken about the writing part since Dabangg and the role of Salim Saab as well. Yeah. Writing and the casting. Casting is superb too. Exceptional casting.
Absolutely right. See, first and foremost, the entire exercise of making a film has to have some kind of a base. The base is, what are you going to excite everybody on? I mean to say, you're going to get actors on board, you're going to get musicians on board, you're going to get technicians on board, and you're going to tell them that this is what you want to make. So they have to like the material, because they're going to give the time before the film, during the film, and after the film for the film. And they're going to take maybe 6 months or 1 year of your life and be excited for such a long period of time. So if the material is, or the characterization or the story or the dialogues is not interesting, or the concept or the novelty of it, it's very difficult to push people, because then they lose interest. So for me, post Dabangg 2, when I was kind of sourcing out scripts and all from various people, writers, directors, etc., I heard a few ideas, I heard full complete scripts and all that stuff, and then I heard this, and this stayed with me. And I don't know whether you call it, I think I have a certain knack, maybe it's come from my father, because of all the years of him being a script writer, and we analyzing some of his work and him talking about certain scripts, that there is some sense that I have. I'm not saying I'm some genius in that sense, but I have some sense about characterizations. If you see my films, you'll see the film that I like will have an interesting character, whether it's Chulbul Pandey's character, whether it's Chedi Singh, whether it's Makhanchan Pandey, whether you see Dolly, whether you see Bhayaji Smile, you see, but I like, if I see it in a script, I'll be able to identify it. Because I always believe that people are interested in people. Ultimately you go and you see an interesting person, an interesting character, you enjoy, you kind of want to live his journey. Story and all, you'll end up summarizing the story in the same way. So it's the journey of a character that is very interesting. So when I see that in a script, and I see it, then of course you need to develop it, and you need to kind of hone it and polish it and remove the rough edges and all that stuff. Even the writer and the director does not know who is going to make it and how is it going to be made. कौन सा star करेगा? Star के हिसाब से भी alter होती है script. Budget के हिसाब से भी alter होती है script. तो it depends on star क्या है, budget क्या है, script वही है. Like I said, that's where I have that little, I would say right now I have that little interest or sense that I pick stuff which I find very interesting in terms of characterization.
If we can briefly talk about a few of the characters, because say Brijinder Kala, for example, his Jigyasa bit, I think, just तरीके से वो 1 minute, I think it is hilarious.
My dad heard the script and the first thing he said, Arbaaz, ये script जो है ना, इनमें actors bade अच्छे लेना. See, we want to do something, but if we don't get the right people to project those characters and probably take it to another level, this film would have fallen flat. I'm telling you that. Once we get good actors, it'll work, because these are fab moments, these are fab scenes, but we need the right people for it. And we were very fortunate that we had a wish list of actors, and that wish list we could accomplish. All the actors in our films were the people who were in our top list.
Let's take it more. Archana Puran Singh.
Oh yeah, so she's outstanding.
Outstanding.
When we had the strong Punjabi dominating mother, my thought went to her, and I told the director, I said, listen, I've worked with her. I've done so many comedy circus shows with her. I said, she's the right person for the role, and they jumped. They just realized, how could we not think of anybody else? And she's infused so much into the character.
In fact, when she's on screen, you just look at her. She's so entertaining.
Varun, how good is he?
Right.
Pulkit, Raj, and the kind of hard work that they've done. See, there is something in a character in a script, and then there's something that an actor brings. Now that is where you take it to another level. Like I said, a film, there are a lot of contributors. It is not, you can't just say, oh, lines अच्छी थी. Lines, अगर कोई गलत बोल देगा, flat बोल देगा, तो lines बहुत खराब लगते हैं. तो हमने बड़े consciously cast किया इस film के लिए, because there's another thing that my father said is that if you cast right, half the job is done. Because if the person looks the character, then the performance also becomes easy.
Rajesh Sharma.
Brilliant. You see, you can keep asking me the names of all the actors who have taken part. They're all brilliant.
Whatever time he is there, even the way he's lusting at that.
Brilliant.
I love that scene of his, no? He calls that guy outside
Madadgar.
the house. Madadgar. I love that scene. It is so small, simple, but such an effect.
And that's how it's natural. And it's like there is nobody trying to act. See, the best part is that nobody has taken their roles that seriously that they have tried to do something out of the ordinary. They've just internalized that character, and then they've done it very naturally. And that is the beauty of these actors. These young actors are brilliant.
You've compared Arbaaz with Salim Saab in a lot of ways. Why do you say that?
Well, I have known now Arbaaz, 21 years now of my life. That's a really long time. And I've seen Salim uncle as long, and it is amazing how, and I think I've said it from day one, it is not some new discovery. I think I must have voiced it for the first time.
Ji.
But ask Arbaaz, I think it comes up in our conversations all the time. I'm like, you're just like your dad, you say this just like your dad, you react just like your dad, you know, I said you look so much like your dad. I said you will age to look like your dad. So there is, I think, I mean, children are always, they'll either, take after some parent of theirs or somebody in the family. Either you take after your mom or your dad or whoever. He has completely taken after his dad. There is no, I think there is no...
I wouldn't deny that. My father is my role model in many, many ways.
But it's not about being a role model also.
It's just that, it's not intentional. I mean to say, I don't try to do... It's just that certain things that I've imbibed from him.
Yeah.
Like there's one thing that I can say, which I think everybody who knows me will vouch for, that I'm an extremely punctual person.
In fact, Suhail Khan calls you Parsi.
Yeah. Anybody can call me anything. There is something about being on time I'm honestly anal about it. It could be going
He's not as anal, he's psycho about it.
It could be going to a trial, it could be going down, if somebody says 6:30 बजे नीचे मिलूंगा, we'll just go for a drive. तो ऐसा नहीं कि सिर्फ drive है, तो 7 बजे भी मिल सकते हैं, कुछ नहीं. For me, when a time is given, I will calculate traffic also. कि if somebody says अंधेरी में मिलते 7 बजे, तो फिर I will not give an excuse कि मैं 7:30 बजे इसलिए आया क्योंकि ट्रैफिक था. शाम का वक्त है, 7 बजे मिलना है, आधा घंटा वैसे लगता है, ट्रैफिक होगा तो 15 मिनट पहले निकलना चाहिए. तो I'm
like, for this interview we were supposed to start at 7 o'clock. He was here at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I was late. Fine, okay.
No, but I am like that. So these are things that my father is like. Even for a trial, for dubbing, like people like I have gone to dubbing of my film even before the recordist has come. 7 बजे कल production ने बोला 7 बजे dubbing है. तो मैं 7 बजे पहुंच गया और मुझे पहुंचना है, पता चला अंधेरी में डबिंग है. तो मैं पहुंच गया 7 बजे डबिंग के लिए. तो कुछ नहीं, मैं बैठा हुआ हूँ, चाय पी रहा हूँ, नाश्ता ऑर्डर कर रहा हूँ, फिर पता चला आधे घंटे बाद रिकॉर्डिस्ट अरे आ गए. तो मैं बोला अरे यार कोई आता नहीं है 7 बजे बोल के, तो हम भी थोड़ा लेट आते हैं. बट देन दे स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग दैट आई कम ऑन टाइम. So then they used to get a little upset with me. यार साले तुम 7 बजे आ जाते हो तो थोड़ा लेट आया करो यार.
So yes, he and his dad are very, very similar, completely.
Great. We've taken a few questions from your fans. Diana from Singapore for Arbaaz. Is Dabangg 3 happening?
Yes, it is happening. I can't put a time to it as of now, but when both Salman and me get out of our little engagements that we have right now, we will sit sometime and we'll start ideating. I definitely am very keen to do it. I'm sure even he is, and we've spoken about it.
So is our son. He is very keen. The Dabangg
yeah, so it is there in the offing. I can't see, like, Dabangg 1 and Dabangg 2 came very close. So it might be a scenario like how Dhoom 1 and Dhoom 2 and then Dhoom 3 came after a decent amount of time. It's a very, very loved franchise, very loved character, and just putting 3 to it is not what is our intention. You know, we have to respect the sentiments of the people and put a quality product in front of them. It's not ke boss 3 dal do, kuch bhi hai, Dabangg chalta hai, character chalta hai, bana do. We're not going to do that. So we are going to work very, very hard on what we want to do, bring something extraordinary from our side. I mean to say, we'll try our best to bring something different, something fresh, new, and that will be challenging because that's what we want to do.
Kevin Kishore, which is a favorite song from the following? Fashion Khatam, Munni Badnaam or Chaiya Chaiya. And these can't be chartbusters without her, that's what he's saying.
That's very sweet, thank you Kevin. Well, I would go right now with Fashion Khatam because right now that's what's on my mind, on my tongue, and everybody is talking about it, so I'm going to go with that right
Munni Badnaam is there in PK as well.
Oh, really? I've not seen it. Actually, you know, for me, Munni Badnaam is very, very sentimental, so I can't ever this. So is Chaiya Chaiya because that was the first ever song I did, and Munni will always be something which is close to my heart, but I'll go with Fashion Khatam for now.
Megha from Delhi, any difficulties he faced while shooting Dolly Ki Doli?
No, honestly, this has been by far the best shoot, including both my films, strangely. I have really enjoyed working, you know, on this film. It has been a breeze. It has been so nice, and because maybe I'm coming after 2 big films, and you know, maybe that experience is there, and that whole thing of, you know, like overlooking a project with very young, fresh, talented people happening in the space that I wanted it to happen, with a lot of creative control and just basically ideating with all these guys and coming up with a product that I'm really extremely happy with. It may have some scenario that it'll be a difficult film to market or to sell and all, but if you ask me, the experience of working, I had a great time. And once you make a good film, then even all those aspects are taken care of. Today, fortunately, after we released our first promo, I got the response that to some extent that I got from my first film's response. Dabangg 1 ka jo response tha, wo honestly maybe in a very different way, but the kind of reaction was the same. That overwhelming people that boss बहुत अच्छी लग रही है, देखनी है, वो it came again, so it was great.
It's coming with Baby. Any apprehensions about that? And then you're having a 4-day weekend. So any advantages of that?
Everybody will say that having a solo week is the greatest thing that anybody would hope for.
Right.
Nevertheless, the chances of anybody getting a solo release probably on a holiday is not that likely. And we have to see from our side as to what is our best positioning of the film. Ours is a shadi wali film. It is, you know, if it gets a holiday, it'll help the film. If a film of the same kind is not coming, then you're not too worried so much. So Baby is a very different film from our film. Okay, it'll have a different audience and we'll have a different audience. I think so, because they're diametrically 2 different films. It's an action film and ours is a light-hearted comedy, and you know, that way.
Right.
So we could take that little chance. If you see in India, there are about 5,000 odd screens to exploit. From what we gauge is that maybe 2,000 plus screens is what Baby is going to go with. So there are still 2,500 plus screens to, you know, to use.
What is the number that you're coming with?
About 1,200, you know. So there are still more after we come. Maybe if the film does well and screens increase or whatever, that's another thing. Right. So we want that little audience. You know, we're not going for the biggest pie of the... And if you see on a given day, what a film can collect could be, like you've seen it with PK and you've seen it with Kick and all that. You could get a 40 crore opening day. If I get a bloody... even 10% of that, I'll be happy. So like a 4 crore opening or a 5 crore opening for my film is a good start.
Right.
Because I'm not expecting a 15 crore opening. I expect it to gain momentum post that. So what am I taking from that supposedly 30 crore, 40 crore capacity of a Friday of an Indian audience? I'm taking, hoping for about 4 to 5 crores. Hoping. If I get that, I'm happy. Then the rest is there for other films to explore.
And Monday is a holiday.
Monday is a holiday.
This is Arif from Indonesia. Who's her favorite Bollywood actress now, apart from Sonam Kapoor?
Mine? Apart from
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it, because
you're a producer, so obviously.
Yeah.
Well, for me, Sonam, of course. There's no 2 ways. But if I have to choose somebody else, I would say Deepika. Did we say that
together?
Oh my God. Okay, this is Mansi from Mumbai. Which would be your next movie with Salman apart from Dabangg?
See, I think the chances of our next film being Dabangg is very high. I mean, you say if Salman and me have to collaborate again, I think it probably would be Dabangg 3 only. Until and unless something really different or exciting comes and we both feel that ye pehle banate hain. By and large, I think that's a franchise that has been accepted, has worked. So it might make sense to just do that.
This is Fatim from Indonesia. What's your favorite song in Dolly Ki Doli?
I like all the songs actually, but I would say Fate Tak Nachna.
And what's yours? She has asked the same for you as well.
See, if it's a soul, I like Mere Naina Kaafir.
I mean, I love it.
I think that is the really that's seriously the best song of the film. Right. Irrespective, it is the best song of the film because other songs are good, but you know there is a sense of deja vu that you've heard stuff like that, you've liked stuff like that. They're not completely novel. They're like, if it's a hit track, it's a hit track. You know, then the added thing is by doing things to it. You know, like getting Malaika to do that song, getting Sonam to dance, and kind of propping it up. So they are good tracks, but this is unique, man. This song is great. The lyric value, the singing, the kind of composition. So that is extraordinary. That is something that those songs don't come by every day.
But there's a perception that maybe if the music could have been slightly more better, maybe it would have got a altogether different response. Considering you've had
I don't think
super
so.
hit music.
I see. Looks
from Sajid Wajid.
Let's be honest. We have a very fresh and young cast. And you know, when you have Malaika dance with Salman, that song goes to another level in a film like Dabangg. You have to take a lot of things into consideration. Here she's on her own and she's making the song work.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that is a big challenge also, which is happening. Sonam is doing things on her own. So there is one thing. I think the music is good. I think the music will pick up and it'll do very well. I'm pretty confident.
In fact, if you watch the film, you enjoy the music even.
Yeah, because it's a lot to do with the storytelling. You know, most of us, some of our songs, or at least not storytelling in that point in time, that kind of song or that kind of emotion is necessary.
Right. Last question. This is Fatim from Indonesia once again. 3 words about Sonam Kapoor from Arbaaz Khan.
Well, I would say she's grounded. She's very sweet and very
sweet is 2 words. You have to only give 3 words.
Sweet and
grounded, sweet, hardworking. Or
grounded, sweet, hardworking.
Yeah.
She has said
and there's much more, but I think these are the first 3 ones that are coming to mind.
Malaika said that you are grounded as well.
Yeah, I'm underground. Right now I'm underground. I have to come out of the ground.
Last question for Malaika Arora. A bit of 2 things, because one is a statement. This is Sana Afzal. Please tell her I love all her songs, the way she has maintained herself, her style. She is an inspiration. The question is from Kevin from Hyderabad. When will she do songs in Telugu films?
Okay. Well, thank you, Sana. Kevin, I've already done songs in a Telugu film.
In recent,
not recent. This, some time back, with one with Mahesh Babu, and and then in the remake of Dabangg as well. I did a song, the Munni that I've done in Dabangg. I did the similar thing in the Telugu version, which is called Gabbar.
Right.
So I did a song in that as well, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Very, very difficult to sing. The lyrics were very, very difficult, but I enjoyed myself. So maybe Kevin should try catching those songs.
Okay, as you were saying, when will you do a full-fledged role as far as the movie is concerned?
I thought he was going to ask me that question. I don't really have that interest in doing a full-fledged role. I've always maintained that. Acting really doesn't excite me or, want to make me wake up every day and run to the studios and start acting. But you never know. Tomorrow maybe something interesting, and if I think, I might. But otherwise, I have no such intention.
You're doing a film with Abbas Mustan.
Yes.
And after a long time.
It's superb. I'm so happy because first and foremost, they cast me in a villainous role in their first film, and now they've cast me probably in a negative, like I play a Don, but he's such a funny Don because he's deaf. And he answers to questions. He's a deaf Don and he answers to things, and he's quite cute. So in fact, it's really good fun, doing their film. So I'm like working with them almost after 20 years because I signed the film Darar in 1994 and it was released in 1996.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so it took 2 years to make, and I signed this film in 2014. Basically, after 20 years they signed me again. Yeah.
Right, so it's been 20 years for
and in between, I don't know, for some strange reason, we never worked together, though I won an award in their first film. Okay. So, maybe they felt, that role went down so well that sometimes they didn't have something to offer me at that stage, which was like that. Then now when I'm like a almost like eased out with my acting career and gone into filmmaking and all that stuff, but still kept those options open to act in films. Like I've not shut the door on acting. In fact, I love acting and I want to do it for as long as I can. But probably I don't I'm not like pressing my foot on the pedal so hard, like that's exactly what I want to do. Anything interesting comes my way, a director wants me for a particular role, he wants me to work at a certain character, he believes in me that okay, this role only I can play, then I'd love to do it, because that's the kind of work I want to look for.
Your favorite performance of Arbaaz Khan?
I liked him in Darar. I loved him in Darar. Although it was a negative character, but I thought he just played that character with such ease, such ease.
Ask me.
Tell me.
I thought my character Makhi was the best. I enjoyed that character.
I think that was the closest in terms of you, how you are.
I thought that was a great character.
It has shades as well.
Yeah, and of course I've acted so well in so many other films also.
No, I think fashion, you were very.
He was very good in fashion.
Just talking about fashion,
and I think he looked.
Malamal Weekly, I thought I was quite.
And I think he looked the best in fashion. If you have to ask me, I think he looked really handsome in fashion.
That's exactly what we were just discussing. In fact, he has done a few of your movies with...
You just said that I think I'm looking good and I should start acting. I am acting, man. What do you mean start acting?
I think he did a on location of you with Gracie Singh as well. What movie was that?
Vajah. Why have you reminded me of that movie?
He was just telling me. All right. So thank you very much for being on Bollywood Hungama, and we generally hope that Dolly Ki Doli does exceptionally well at the box office, and a very good selection. It's not merely just doing a production for the heck of doing it, but
people have asked me, thinking, okay, after doing these two films, that maybe before I do something big, this is like an interim film. This is not. I, as a person, will never do something that I don't believe in. As far as my work is concerned, or films are concerned. As an actor, I was not so what you call choosy about the work that I did. I just wanted to get busy. I just wanted to get out. But as a filmmaker, I'm extremely particular about what I do. It took me 2 years to make this film. I don't know how long it'll take me to make my next film, because I get really involved in the filmmaking aspect of it. And I know that is something that if I have to really own up to. So I will never do something, because ये combination बना लो, ये star billing है काम करने के लिए, office चलाना है तो 2 फिल्में करना चाहिए. मेरे से नहीं होगा. मेरे से वही होगा जब जिससे I'm excited about. It could be 1 film, it could be 2 films. So it's not about time also. It's when I get a script which excites me, I will do it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much and all the best wishes. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us on.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.